Welcome into the Pfizer Forum for Marquette basketball versus St. John's. This is a Big East matchup. We're about to get right into the game. You know, looking a little bit into this game, the Marquette Golden Eagles have had a rough start in the Big East. St. John's has been dominant, being the 17th ranked team in the nation. Let's see how this game turns out. Marquette's going to be looking to make some nice plays on offense, getting some defensive transition points. Let's see how the team is able to do. Tip-off on the way. Crowd on their feet. Tip-off is imminent. And the tip is won by St. John's. St. John's going to kick it out to the left. Mitchell on the left side. It's almost stolen by Praham. Mitchell now driving into the paint. Kicks it out for three. Is no good from LG4. Shoots another one. That one won't go either. There's 11. And that one will fall. Jackson with a nice three to start off the game. It's 3-0 St. John's. Marquette coming off of some big losses in the Big East, only beating Creighton as of recent. Nigel James drives into the paint, kicks it out to the corner to Praham. Praham out to Chase Ross. Chase Ross on the side. Driving down in the middle of the paint, gets hit in the face. No foul called. Ball out of bounds. St. John's basketball. St. John's driving up, pass up immediately, and slam dunk for Sannon. Josiah Sannon with a slam dunk on a fast break. Chase Ross now has it in the right corner. Going to drive up to the top of the key, kicks it out to Nigel James. Nigel James now at the top. Kicks it out to Praham. Praham on the corner, drives into the paint. Getting up through a man. That one will fall. Marquette's first basket of the game, 5-2. Taking it up the court is Jackson. Kicks it out to the top. That's Hopkins. Hopkins back out. Three for Sannon. That one won't go. Rebound. Marquette. Nigel James with the rebound, taking it up the court. Onto the left side of the paint. Drives into the paint. Can't get a shot up. Kicks it out to the corner. Won't go on a three. And ball out of bounds. Inbounded by St. John's. Jackson now driving it up the court. Kicks it out to the right. Back up to the top. Jackson. Kicked into the paint on a nice pass. Ben Gold playing some nice defense in the paint. Through a man. That layup won't fall for NE4. Nigel James kicks it over to Chase Ross. Chase Ross now at the top. Kicks it over to Stevens. Stevens now going to drive into the paint. Step back. Won't shoot it. Pump fake. Had a man jump. Chase Ross now kicking it out to Nigel James. Nigel James driving into the paint on a nice layup. That one will fall. 5-4 Marquette. On a nice little drive from Nigel James. St. John's driving right into the paint. Marquette in the kill zone. Ball is almost tipped away. A three ball. That one won't go. Rebounded by Marquette. That's a kill. Stevens now with the ball, driving it up. Adrian Stevens now driving into the paint. Going to kick it out back to Praham. Praham from three. That one will fall. 7-5. Marquette Golden Eagles. St. John's now driving it up the court. To the top of the key is Nhifo. Nhifo back out to Hopkins. Hopkins now going to kick it to the top of the key. Back to Nhifo. Nhifo driving into the paint. Ball's knocked away. That's a foul called on Marquette. It'll be St. John's ball.
Kicking violation. Please reset shot clock to 20 seconds.
Ball will be inbounded by St. John's. Nhifo in the paint, gonna fake going up. Over to Hopkins, oh for a layup, that one won't fall. Ball's rebounded by Hopkins, and he puts it back in.
Bryce Hopkins.
Last year, St. John's 2-0 against Marquette. Marquette looking to make a stand on home court. Nigel James going to look for a pass. Can't find it. It's taken away by Hopkins. Hopkins now driving up to the paint. Kicks it over to Anhifo. Back out to Hopkins at the top of the key. Hopkins going up. Absolutely throws the ball almost over the net, over the hoop. And it's rebounded by Anhifo. Anhifo back out to Hopkins. Hopkins going to fake a three. Driving to the paint. Go up for a layup. That one won't go. Goes up for a dunk on the rebound, and he is fouled. That'll be 2 free throws. That'll be 2 free throws for Mitchell. Mitchell tried to put back a dunk there. Didn't go very well. Marquette crowd is loud. Mitchell won't make the first one.
Entering the game for Marquette, number 9, Demarius Owens, at number 18.
Marquette is going to want some pace this game, and look, they're doing a good job so far. St. John's, the 17th ranked state team in the nation. Marquette, unranked, having a really rough season. That second free throw won't fall either. The crowd is nuts. 7-7, Marquette. Ball is kicked out to Nigel James. Nigel James at the top. Nigel now calling for a man, Chase Ross. Chase Ross sets a screen. Nigel James kicks it out to Hamilton. Out for Owens. That one won't go. And it's rebounded by Hopkins. Hopkins now taking it up the court. Over to Jackson. Jackson now at the top of the key. Back over to Anhifo. Anhifo hands it off to Hopkins. Hopkins going to drive in. Fade away. That one won't go. And rebounded by Hamilton. Hamilton gives it over to James. James taking it up the right side of the court. At the top of the key now. Makes a nice move and drives into the paint. Through some contact. That layup won't fall. Now taking it up is Sannon. Sannon passes it out to the corner for a three. That one won't go. Rebounded by Mitchell. Mitchell to Anhifo. Anhifo dropping in. Mitchell. Sannon now at the top. Tries to kick it out. Can't find a man. It's tipped away by Anhifo. Anhifo drives up for a layup, and that ball is knocked away by Nigel James on a nice play. It'll be Marquette basketball as there is a TV timeout. We'll be right back after the break. Coming back here into the first quarter. 14 minutes and 51 seconds left. You know, this season Marquette has been rough in the shooting department, in the 3 points specifically. This team has had a lot of turnovers on offense and hasn't been able to get a lot of rebounds. This team has not been efficient with 3-pointers. That's what's going to win them this game tonight if they want to have a chance. They're going to have to hit their threes. St. John's defense is very effective at limiting points in the paint as Nigel James with a little reverse layup. That one won't go. Tip back by Stevens, and it won't fall either. Marquette in the kill zone. Renhifo kicks it out. Over to the left, it's Mitchell for three. That one will fall.
3-point basket, no seconds.
10-7 Marquette. Now taking it up the court is Chase Ross. Chase Ross going to attempt to try to drive it into the paint. Steps back a little bit there. Over to Praham at the top of the key. Driving it in the middle of the paint. Hits a man a little bit. Fouled on the shot. Praham will be shooting two.
St. John's foul number 1, Dylan Mitchell, first personal, first team.
This St. John's team has been fantastic defensively in the paint all season. That's what's led them to their 20-win record. This team has been phenomenal inside of the paint. Praham shooting his first free throw, and that one will fall.
Checking in for the Golden Eagles, number 10, Adrian Stevens, and number 12, Ben Gold.
Ben Gold and Adrian Stevens checking into the game. Praham going to be shooting his second shot. And that one will fall. 10-9 is your score. St. John's leads the Marquette Golden Eagles. Taking it up the court is Jackson. Jackson kicks it over to Anhifo. Anhifo looking for a man at the top of the key. It's Hopkins. Hopkins now looking for a man, finds one. Steller's gonna kick it back over to Anhifo. And he's fouled on a shot, and Anhifo will be shooting two.
Marquette foul number 9, Demarius Owens, first personal, second team foul.
Shaka Smart has been teaching these guys for the last couple of years to use a lot of pace. They want this team to be moving and moving and moving. They want this game to go fast. They don't want to slow down the game. First shot for an E4. That one will not go. Rimmed in and out. St. John's yet to make a free throw yet.
St. John's
St. John's is really good at getting those offensive rebounds. We've already seen them put back a couple of shots. And here is the second free throw for an E4. And that one will go. 1 for 4 tonight for the free throws. It's 11-9. Ben Gold kicking it into Nigel James. St. John's in a full court press. Nigel James quickly up the court. Ball is tipped away. Nigel James recovers. Into the paint is Stevens. It's slam dunk on Mitchell's head. An unbelievable dunk by Adrian Stevens. At the top of the key is Mitchell. The ball's tipped away and recovered. And E4 at the top of the key. Kicks it over to Hopkins. Hopkins now going to try to drive in through some contact of Ben Gold. Puts up a layup. That one will fall. Royce Hopkins with a nice bucket. Nigel James now at the top of the key. Calling for a screen. Praham will set the screen up at the top. Ball's passed over to Praham. Praham driving into the paint, looks for a man, can't find it. Get Ben Gold, it goes right over his head as Jackson is driving fast up the court, tipped away by Nigel James on a fantastic deflection to knock the ball away. And now for three, Stevens, that one won't fall. Knocked away. He gets his own rebound, but the ball is knocked out of bounds as he lost his step. Adrian Stevens having an aggressive game so far. Really going at it. At that nice dunk only a couple of minutes ago and gets his own rebounder on a three-pointer at the top of the key.
In for Marquette, number 2, Chase Ross.
You know, if this battle ends up in around the 80-point range, Marquette has been winning most of their games when they score 80 points. If it stays lower in the 60s or 70s, St. John's will have a very, very good chance of winning this game. 13-11 is your score with 12 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half. Up at the top is Darling now. Darling going to be driving it up for St. John's. Looks for another man at the top. Top of the key is A.O. A.O. is going to find Hopkins. Hopkins now kicks over the corner and it's taken away by Owens. A nice steal by Owens there. And now he's at the top of the key. Makes a move, kicks it into the paint. Ball is knocked away. Ben Gold is alone on defense here. Into the paint is A.O. and he makes a layup. Made a nice little move against Ben Gold there to get around him. Little Euro step. Chase Ross now has it at the top of the key for your Marquette Golden Eagles. Chase Ross gonna drive in a little bit, step back, gets a man to bite a little bit, and a defensive foul on number 17, Craig. That'll be the first personal, and that'll be a timeout. We'll be right back after the break. Now we are back in the Pfizer Forum. Marquette's offense so far has been very stellar. Some great plays by Nigel James to get some quick, fast breaks, and Adrian Stevens being real aggressive so far as Stevens inbounds it. Chase Ross now at the top of the key, drives in as a wide open lane, but is pulled away and no foul is called. A lot of contact there for a no call. Marquette handling themselves pretty well for facing the number 17 team in the nation. 15-11 with 11 minutes left in the first half. Up at the top of the key is Prey. Prey kicks it into the paint. Layup gone way over the backboard. Rebounded by Owens. Owens now kicks it up to Chase Ross. Chase Ross with a nice move. Looking for Ben Gold. Can't find him. Up on the right side. Chase Ross driving in. He's at the free throw line. All the way over to Hamilton. Hamilton now looking for a shot. Gets a layup up, and that one will go. On a nice play. A nice assist by Chase Ross. Good pass to get it into the paint. And Hamilton on a nice move gets a layup. Mitchell now in the paint, kicks over to Prey, and a wide open layup for St. John's. This inside the paint defense has not been very strong for Marquette to start off this game. A lot of very easy layups. Owens now driving into the paint, kicks it out to Ben Gold. Ben Gold, pump fake three. Ben Gold back up to the top of the key. It's Stevens. Stevens back over to Owens. Owens now driving in off the foot of St. John's. It's a kickball violation. This St. John defense has been all over Marquette, not giving any shots up to Marquette. Marquette has made do with what they've been given so far, with a couple of nice threes and some nice fast breaks. Fast breaks is going to be the name of the game for Marquette if they want to pull this one away. The three-point line might be the great equalizer tonight to make Marquette have a chance in this game as well. Gonna have to hit their open shots, which has been a struggle for them this season. Chase Ross now inbounds it. Up at the top of the key is Norman. Norman now knocks it out of bounds. Loses the ball. St. John's basketball. Mitchell will be inbounding this one. Subbing it for Marquette is Royce Parham. Inbounding is Mitchell to Darling. Darling now on the right side of the key. Back over on the left side is Mitchell. Back to the top of the key. It's Stellers. Stellers back over to Hopkins. Hopkins to the top. It's Darling. Darling on the left side. Marquette defense is all over him. Prey driving into the middle of the paint and gets another easy layup. This lane has just been wide open for Prey to just walk right through. Chase Ross has a wide open fast break. A man knocks the ball away from behind. A great save by diving save by Ben Gold to not get the over and back. And it will still be Marquette basketball. Over into the corner, it's Braham. Back out to Ben Gold. Ben Gold gonna pump fake a three, kick it out to Nigel James. Nigel James makes a nice move on a defender. The ball is tipped out to Chase Ross. Chase Ross into the paint. A floater will not fall at the buzzer. Now coming up is Darling. Darling driving right into the middle of the paint. A wide open three. He finds a wide open man for three. That one will fall. Zaya Stellers with a nice shot there. 22-13 is the score. St. John's leads Marquette. Ben Gold for three. That one will fall. Right over the face of Darling on a nice shot from Ben Gold. When Ben Gold is on fire, he cannot miss. Another wide open man in the corner. That three will not go for St. John's, and it's rebounded by Chase Ross. Chase Ross now taking it up the court. Chase Ross on the left side of the key. Driving it up to the top. Out over to Norman. Norman makes a nice move behind the back, drives into the paint, and a nice bucket by Norman on a fantastic move to get around his man. St. John's already has the basketball up to the top. Driving up real fast, trying to catch Marquette lacking. Ben Gold up on Prey. Darling now back at the top, over to Hopkins on the right. Hopkins now at the top of the key, drives into the paint. Can't find anyone, picks up his dribble. Out to the corner is Darling. That one won't go. And a foul, offensive foul on Darling. It will be Marquette basketball. Marquette only trailing 4 with 8 minutes to go in the first half. To get a foul drawn there by Nigel James, which is fantastic. This team has been really, really good so far. One of their better games of the season for sure. In other news, Creighton just upset UConn. Marquette beat Creighton earlier in the season. Anything can happen anything can happen in college basketball. A deep three from Phillips. That one will go. Ben Gold with the rebound dunk. Ben Gold with the slam. On a nice read, jumps up and just lays it in. Marquette's in the kill zone. Crowd's getting into it. Prey at the top of the key. Gonna kick it out to Mitchell. Mitchell for three. That one will fall on a real nice shot on the move. Nigel James now driving up the right corner. He's fouled, and the foul is called. It looked like it wasn't even going to be called. He got clotheslined as Zaya Sellers reached his hand out and almost pulled his neck, it looked like. That'll be a timeout for St. John's. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to the Pfizer Forum, where it is Student Appreciation Night for the Marquette Golden Eagles. This crowd is loud tonight. Lots of giveaways have happened so far as Nigel James passes it to Praham. A wide open bucket for Praham. Your Marquette Golden Eagles are down, trailing by 3 with 7 minutes to go in the first half. Driving it up the top is Jackson. Jackson now over to Prey. Prey at the top of the key. Prey back out to Stellers. Stellers kicks it over to Hopkins. Hopkins now driving into the paint. Going up for a layup on the right side. Ball is rebounded by Prey. Prey putting it back up and tipped away by Nigel James. Ben Gold with the rebound. Nigel James now taking it up the right side of the key. Driving up to the middle. A nice spin move. That one won't go. And a foul on Nigel James.
Marquette foul 13, Royce Parham.
I apologize. That foul was on Royce Parham. And it appears that a St. John's player is injured. Does not look good. They're bringing the trainers out. We all hope he is okay. It looks like he's getting up and walking a little bit. That's Jackson. As he's walking off the court, appears to just be a little bit shaken up. Glad to see that he's okay. And the game will continue. 25-22 is the score. Marquette trails St. John's. Ball is inbounded. Darling going to take it up the court. Over to Hopkins and back to Sandin. Sandin now up to the top of the key. It's Prey. Prey picks up his dribble at the top of the key, trying to find a man. Passes it over to Hopkins. Hopkins now at the top. Going to push it over to Darling. Darling with a nice move. Some nice help defense and a mid-range jumper from Stellers on a real nice shot there. That's a on the move, really contested, hit it in Nigel James' face. Nigel James now driving it up the middle, kicks it out to Braham. Driving in is Norman. Norman gonna travel in the paint. That's his third turnover of the game. Not what you really want to see when trailing by 5. Hopkins now passing it into Darling. This St. John's offense has looked very good, making a lot of shots on the move and contested. Let's see how much longer they can do this. This Marquette defense has been working them real hard. It's been hard to get some shots out on the outside of the arc, but on the inside of the arc, it's been very easy to get some nice layups. Prey has had some wide open shots. Hopkins now at the top of the key, pump fakes a 3. Ball's tipped away. A reach over violation on Norman.
Marquette foul 0, Nigel James Jr., first personal.
We have a reach over foul on Nigel James Jr. Stepping into the game is Chase Ross
Number 10, Adrian.
and Adrian Stevens. Crowd is still getting loud for this one. Ball is passed in immediately to Hopkins and put up in the air. A little alley-oop there. Just zero defense has been in the paint. Nigel James goes through someone's legs. Goes through Prey's legs and gets around him on a nice layup from Nigel James. Unbelievable shot. Gotta be a foul on Braham while Darling was driving up the court. What a move by Nigel James to get around his defender. Just an unbelievable ball player. Has been carrying this team throughout the year. Has been a leader as a freshman, which is not something you see very often. At the top of the key is Hopkins. Hopkins now is going to drive into the middle of the paint. Ball is knocked away. Chase Ross on a fast break with Praham. Going up for a layup is Chase Ross. That one won't go, but he's fouled on the shot. He'll be shooting 2.
0. Dylan Darling, second.
4 minutes, 56 seconds left in the first half. Marquette trails by 5.
Free throws for the Golden Eagles.
Chase Ross will get 2 free throws here. Let's see what he can make of it.
At the line, number 2, Chase Ross.
You know, Chase Ross is another one of these leaders. He's a senior, though. It's expected out of him. Nigel James has been a godsend for the Marquette Golden Eagles as Chase Ross is going to hit his first free throw.
St. John's, 31 left, Terrace Leotopoulos.
Leotopoulos signing him for St. John's. Chase Ross, here is the second shot. And that one will fall. 100% from free throw are the Marquette Golden Eagles. Full court press from Marquette. It's a 3-on-1 fast break. Praham into the paint, gets fouled, and it's an and one. That's not what you want to see. Hamilton foul.
No basket.
No basket. They take it back. Had a little discussion with the referees, and it was an offensive foul. Sorry, it was a foul on the ground. St. John's is in the bonus, however, and there will be free throws.
Marquette foul 18, Caden Hamilton, first personal, 5th team foul. 2 free throws for St. John's at the line, 31, Lapteris, Leotopoulos.
Leotopoulos will be shooting 2. The crowd is loud in Leotopoulos' face. Let's see if he can hit these. St. John's, Leotopoulos will make the first. St. John's has been not very good from free throw, only shooting 40% tonight so far. Still very early in the game, but have missed a decent amount so far. Leotopoulos with his second shot. And that one will go. 31-26 is your score as the ball is brought up by Nigel James. Nigel James on a wide open alley-oop to Praham, and he's knocked away in the air. It looked like it was a foul, but nothing was called. And then Nigel James got the rebound, tried to put it up, and was fouled. Nigel James will be shooting 2. This has been a very aggressive game so far, and the referees are not stepping in until it appears that people are going to get injured tonight. Referees might need to step in a little bit more, but this is really what you see out of Big East basketball. Real aggressive. Just gritty. Teams want to beat each other. They hate each other. As Nigel James will hit his first shot. Marquette and St. John's do not like each other at all. This is what we kind of expected coming into this game. Real aggressive. A little violent. Nigel James, his second shot won't go. Rebounded by St. John's. Jackson's now going to bring it up to Hopkins. Hopkins on the left side of the court. And that's a travel from Hopkins. It looked like he just forgot that he can't jump. Picked up his dribble and then just hopped and then passed. Not what you usually see out of Hopkins, as he has been an all-star player for St. John's this year. Marquette basketball trailing by 4. 4 minutes, 35 seconds left in the half. Ben Gold subbing into the game, who has been a leader for this Marquette squad. Nigel James at the top of the key. From the logo is going to kick out to the left. Driving into the paint. Can't get through anyone. Passes out to Praham. Praham from 3. That one won't go. Ben Gold passes it back in. But it's recovered by Jackson. Jackson now tries to get in the middle of the paint. Ball's knocked away by Ben Gold. A wide open fast break by Stevens. Puts up a layup. It is a lot of contact there. Ball is knocked away, and it will be St. John's basketball. It appeared the crowd is not happy with that call. Looks like it was knocked out of bounds by Hopkins. And they switch the call. It'll be Marquette basketball after it was knocked out by Hopkins. A little referee discussion. Referees have had to discuss a couple of calls already. Nigel James will be passing this one in. Just 4 minutes remaining in this first half, and it has been a lot so far. Nigel James kicks it into Praham. Praham into the paint, backing into his man. Gonna put up a fadeaway. That one will go. A little fadeaway floater from Royce Praham. Ball is going to be knocked into Jackson. Marquette's in the kill zone. Students on their feet. The whole crowd is screaming. Jackson now up to the top of the key. It's Darling. Over to Hopkins at the top of the key. Bringing it up is Sannon. Sannon now finds Hopkins at the top. For 3. That one will fall. Leotopoulos from 3 on the outside of the corner. Chase Ross. Now driving into the paint. Going to look for a fadeaway floater. That one will fall as well. Chase Ross with a nice shot. This Marquette team has been absolutely hammered in the paint so far, and they're still making shots through this contact. It's been a real nice game so far down there as Leotopoulos hits another mid-range. There's a foul on the floor as well. Not on Leotopoulos. It was away from the play. And it appears it'll be a foul on Marquette. It'll be a timeout. A TV timeout. We'll be right back after this break. Coming back onto the ball, it'll be St. John's ball after the foul. Nigel James Jr. had a foul right at the end. You know, looking at Marquette's record, it's not what you want to see from them, but they've been in a lot of close games as Leotopoulos is going to miss a three-pointer, and it's rebounded and knocked away by Hopkins, but they say that it's St. John's basketball. Refs are going to converse again here. The officialing has been a little bit off so far. They've had some discussions. It will be St. John's ball. I do not agree with that call. Talking a little bit more about Marquette this season, don't let the record fool you. They've been in a lot of close games and have blown it right at the end. This late game defense and offense has not been good. They have not been clutch this season, but they're much better than their record holds. Hopkins now at the top of the key. Kicks it over to Sannon. Sannon now back out to the top. It's Enhefor. Enhefor finds a man. It's Hopkins. Hopkins going to make a nice move. Mid-range shot. That one will fall at the shot clock buzzer. 2 minutes, 35 seconds left in the half. Marquette trails by 7. It's 38-31. Chase Ross now going to be on the left side. Up to the top, it's Adrian Stevens. Stevens now with a nice crossover to get his man to jump. Passes to Praham into the paint. Praham's not going to hit a shot. He's going to rebound his own shot. Kicks it out to Ben Gold. Ben Gold for 3. That one won't go. Rebounded by St. John's. Sellers going to be bringing it up. Kicks it out to Sannon. Sannon now out to the top. Into the paint. It's Enhefor. Out to the corner. It's Sannon for 3. That one will fall. Marquette just seems to have lost their momentum. They're falling flat on their feet to start after this break. At the top is Stevens. Enhefor all over him at the top of the key. Double team now. Chase Ross had an open 3, didn't take it. Kicks it out to the corner. It's Owens. That one won't go. Ben Gold with a rebound. It's a defensive foul as Ben Gold was trying to get that rebound. Sellers with the foul. Marquette will be shooting 2. It'll be Ben Gold coming up to the top of the key.
Checking in for St. John's, 11, Ian Jackson. At the free throw line for Marquette.
Jackson signing in for St. John's. Marquette is has missed only one free throw tonight. It was Nigel James earlier. And the crowd goes silent. Ben Gold's first shot will fall. And he will receive a second shot. Marquette Golden Eagles are down 41-32. Here with 1:30 left in the half. Ben Gold with a second shot will fall. That's one thing this team has done extremely well all year. Have not had a lot of falters in free throws. It's been a very good team this year from the free throw line. Shaka Smart has pretty much drilled that into their heads that they need to hit those shots because those are free points. Up at the top of the key is Jackson. Got to find Sannon. Sannon now drives in. Chase Ross tries to strip it away. It won't work. Back into the paint is Enhefor. And Ben Gold is going to foul him while he was shooting. 2 shots for Enhefor. 1 minute remaining in this contest. This half of the contest. Enhefor will be shooting his first 2 here. Crowd is going crazy on the left side, and Enhefor will drain his first one. It seems to me that the Marquette student section has just had the wind knocked out of them, as Marquette has not really done anything since about the 5-minute mark in this half. Just 1 minute remaining, about 4 minutes of just nothing, as Enhefor is going to miss his next shot, and it's rebounded by Hopkins, and he's going to put it back up. Marquette trailing by 11. Timeout, Shaka Smart. Exactly 1 minute remaining in the half. We'll be right back after this timeout break. Marquette is looking to have some kind of hope right at the end of this half. It's been rough towards the end. Had a really good start to the game and has just fallen flat. Chase Ross will be inbounding. 1 minute, 1 second remaining. Nigel James is fouled by Leotopoulos.
St. John's foul 31, Terrence Leotopoulos, first personal. 19.
Nigel James will be shooting in the bonus. Full court press from St. John's now.
At the free throw line, shooting the bonus for Marquette.
Nigel James, one of the leaders on this team, will be shooting too. Taking his time, the first shot won't go. Rebounded by Hopkins. Jackson taking it up the court. Those are the shots you really need to make if you want to come have a nice end of the half. Jackson now at the top of the key. Over to Sandin. Sandin now up at the top is Anhifor. Sandin gonna push off a man with his elbow. That looked like it was very intentional. And it's an offensive foul on St. John's. Through an elbow. That is unreal. It looks like Shaka Smart wants to look for a flagrant foul on that one. They will be reviewing it for a flagrant foul. I mean, an elbow was thrown, very simply put. Marquette will be shooting. I believe it was Nigel James that was fouled there. Ref's going to be talking it over here for a moment. Shaka Smart talking with his team. Probably just trying to get them a few points at the end of this half. Bringing it within 6 would be nothing short of a miracle to end the half. Following play is under review for flagrancy. Shaka has done a fantastic job this year. Refuses to use the transfer portal. It's been very controversial, but stands his ground on his on this. And I believe that that's what's keeping people like Nigel James here and Chase Ross here all these years. The call in the field will stand. It will not be a flagrant foul. The crowd is not happy about it at all. Over the last couple of years, St. John's has pretty much dominated Marquette. They're winning every single game that they've played in March Madness within the 2020s. Chase Ross going to be inbounding. He will not be shooting free throws. Nigel James now taking it up. 37 seconds remain. Looks like they're going to try to hold it and get the last shot of the half off. Nigel James into the paint. Puts up a layup. That one will fall. Leaves St. John's exactly 29 seconds on the clock. There will be no shot clock active. St. John's looking to cap off this very nice half with some points. Up at the top is Jackson. Jackson going to give it to Sandin. 10 seconds remain. Sandin now at the top of the key, taking his time. Over to Jackson. Jackson at the logo. 4 seconds remain. Back over to Anhifo. A shot will not be put up as they had no time. Hopkins was surrounded, and that will end the half. 44-35 at the half. We'll be right back for the second half. We're back in the Pfizer Forum for Marquette versus St. John's. Marquette had a very nice start to the first half and slowly started to fade right at the end. They trail by 9 right now. It feels like a lot more with this crowd, but hopefully Marquette can come out and start to electrify the game right at the start. That crowd is getting loud right now, and the start of the first half has begun. Chase Ross is going to push it over to Nigel James. Nigel James on the right side. Wide open layup for James, and that will fall. 44-37 is your score to start the second half. Marquette already in the kill zone. Hopkins over to Anhifor. Anhifor looking for Sandin. Sandin can't get open. Anhifor's going to have to put one up. He does. It won't go. Ben Gold with a rebound. Coming up is Chase Ross. Chase Ross on the right corner. Takes it back up to the top. Makes a nice move to get past the defender. Can't get a layup as help defense stops him. Nigel James gets a nice pass to Nigel James. Out to the top. Ben Gold has it now. Back out to the top.
Traveling violation.
And a traveling violation. It'll be St. John's ball. Not what you want to see to start off a half. Some points there would have been massive. Here comes Jackson up at the top of the key. Key players so far. Hopkins has been unbelievable for St. John's, hitting a lot of mid-range shots, a little bit of fadeaways, and getting into the paint. Prey has also been great for them. Foul on the ground on Sannon against Marquette. This team for St. John's has had a lot of players contribute tonight. Sannon with 5 points, Jackson with 6. Prey, I believe, has 8. Currently not in the game, but has had a very nice thing. Pass it to Sannon, mid-range for Sannon. That one won't go. Rebounded by Nigel James. James having a nice night of his own with 9 points so far. Couple of assists and rebounds. A mid-range for James. That one will fall. And his 11th points bring the game within 5. Nigel James getting excited, getting the crowd going, slapping the court. Hopkins on the outside of the court. Looking for a man, taking it nice and slow. Trying to slow down this crowd. Ball's tipped away by Stevens. Chase Ross, wide open fast break. Puts it up. It won't fall, and Parham tips it back in. St. John's with a timeout to start this half, and Marquette has done exactly what they've needed to do, getting the crowd going, getting the momentum back. They only trail by 3 after 2 minutes into the first half. We'll be right back after the timeout. Marquette has had 5 stops in a row, has brought this game back. Prior to that Red Storm timeout, they were getting the momentum going, exactly what they needed to do to get this game back in reach. It'll be St. John's ball to start. 18 minutes left in the game. In the skunk zone, 5 stops in a row, looking for their 6th. Jackson now up at the top of the key. Nigel James all over him at the top. Nothing he could do from the logo. Passes it over to Hopkins. Hopkins back up to Stevens. It's stolen by Chase Ross, but tipped back into St. John's hands. A deep 3 from Sannon. It's an air ball. Ben Gold with the rebound. And Marquette is getting loud. Nigel James now at the top of the key. Taking it slow. Don't want to rush this. James over to Praham. Praham sees Stevens up in the corner. Kicks it out to him. Praham outside of the key. Fakes his 3. Stevens for 3! That one won't go. There's going to be an offensive foul. It'll be Red Storm ball. Marquette trailing by just 3. After their very hot start to the second half. This team has not been a second half team all year. Usually showing signs of regress right around the end. Let's see if if Marquette can capitalize and take away this win. Beating number 17 St. John's would be a huge step in the right direction. If Marquette wants any chance of making the tournament, they're going to have to pretty much win the Big East, which would be a big sign if they could win this game. Sannon in the corner. Over to Enhefo into the paint. Enhefo fade away. That one won't go. Ben Gold with the rebound. Nigel James. Ben Gold was fighting for that rebound. Nigel James now driving into the paint. Hits it behind the back and takes a step back. He's at the logo. Driving around to the right. Driving back into the paint. Nigel James and 1! On a floater, and a fantastic move by Nigel James to get this game back in reach. If he hits this free throw, it'll be a tie game. The first tie game since about 5 minutes into the first half. Marquette's been trailing, not by much throughout the whole game, but has been trailing almost the entire game. Nigel James with a chance to tie it. Here with 16 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second half. Nigel James, his only free throw, won't go. Nigel's had a rough go with the free throws tonight. 44-43, Marquette is trailing by 1. An offensive foul on Parham before the shot.
Parham, third team foul.
Parham with the foul. Parham now subbing out of the game. Hamilton will sub in for him. It'll be Red Storm ball in their own territory here. The crowd is loud. Darling now kicking it out. Way over Steve Mitchell's head. Over all the way to their hoop. Stevens is going to recover it barely. Nigel James almost got a hand on that one. Darling now at the logo. Kicks it out to Stellers. Sandin now going to pump fake a three. Kick it over to Darling for three on the left side. That one won't go. Stevens with the rebound. Adrian Stevens has had a lot of rebounds tonight. Has been a fantastic game. Very aggressive so far. Ben Gold has also had a very aggressive night in the paint with 7 rebounds. Praham now. Over to James. James with a deep three. Falling over. It looked like he got fouled. That one will fall. And Marquette has the lead for the first time since the 5-minute mark. Red Storm. And Heafor is going to put up a layup to tie the game. Wide open. Marquette got caught sleeping. It's 46-46 here with just 15 minutes remaining. Nigel James puts up a three. That one won't go. Marquette has slowly brought this crowd back into the game, has brought the team back into the game and electrified it. Nigel James with that block of the century against Darling. Absolutely slammed to the floor. Nigel James going to recover it as well. Going for a layup. It won't go. It looked like he was fouled on that one. No call. Hamilton. That ball is knocked away by the Red Storm. It'll be Marquette basketball. And this team has been going at it hard. Very, very electrifying stuff. Getting the crowd going. This team has been aggressive after that Nigel James swatted away. We'll be right back after this Red Storm timeout. Your Marquette Golden Eagles have outscored the Red Storm by 9 to start off this second half. Into the game is Norman. Norman gonna pass it in Ben Gold. Back over to Norman. Full court press from the Red Storm. Leotopoulos is all over Norman. Norman from the logo now. A nice crossover move. Wide open in the paint. Gonna put up a layup. It's swatted away by Prey. And a blocking foul. Not a blocking foul. A push in the back on the Red Storm. It'll be Marquette basketball. Dylan Darling with the foul. That's his 3rd personal foul. Marquette has slowly crawled back into this game, looking to make a huge upset. This team has a much worse record than the 17th ranked St. John's Red Storm. Norman now kicking it out. Stevens from 3. That one will fall! An unbelievable shot to give Marquette the lead here with just 14 minutes remaining. Prey at the top of the key. Jackson now at the top. Gonna try to drive in. Tries to find a man. Hits Prey in the paint. Prey backing into Praham. Hamilton with the swat. Ball's knocked away. It'll be Marquette basketball out of bounds. Excuse me, it'll be Red Storm basketball. Marquette in the kill zone. Looking for their 3rd stop in a row. This win would shock the world. Out to the top, it's hit to Mitchell. Mitchell out to the top, it's Prey. Left side, a 3-pointer won't go. And they're calling a very late foul on the 3-pointer. Called it after the ball had already hit the floor.
Marquette foul number 18, Caden Hamilton, 2nd personal.
Hamilton
Team foul.
fouled Sellers. Sellers will be shooting 3 shots. If he hits all 3, he can tie the game here. Red Storm have had their issues with free throws as the first one won't go. Shooting 44% from the free throw line is not what you want to see if you're the coach. The Golden Eagles are shooting 70%. Here's the second shot from Sellers. That one will fall.
Returning for the Golden Eagles, 0, Nigel James Jr.
Coming to the game is Nigel James. Nigel James putting up a game so far. 13 points and 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Real nice one as the 3rd free throw will go in as well. It's 49-48, Marquette. Ball is passed into Nigel James. Leotopoulos was all over him right away. Now it's Jackson on him. Nigel James into the corner. Drives it into the middle. No shot, but he's fouled on the ground.
St. John's foul 31, left Terrace Leontopoulos, second personal.
You know, this has been a team effort so far by the Marquette Golden Eagles. Ben Gold with 7 points has, I believe, 2 threes and a free throw, having a real nice night on his own. Owens had that clutch 3 to take the lead earlier in the night. And just the team has been working real well together. Chase Ross has had a great night as well. Let's see what the Golden Eagles can do here. Over to the top, it's Owens. Owens driving into the paint for a layup. It won't go. A lot of contact on that one. This has been a very, very physical game. Red Storm has been violent, and Marquette has retaliated. Prey now at the top of the key. Over to Jackson. Jackson from the logo is going to try to find someone in the corner. Can't find him. On the top now, it's Mitchell. Mitchell with a nice cross move to get inside the paint. A mid-range shot. That one will fall. And the Red Storm has taken the lead. It's 50-49, 13 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. Nigel James kicked it in. What a nice pass and an and one from Norman. Nigel James had a perfect read on that, got under the basket, kicked it into the paint, and Norman with a fantastic shot through contact. Prey with a foul. A fantastic overall play from the Golden Eagles, and Norman has a chance to capitalize this three-point play. Norman will finish the play. 52-50 is your score. Jackson now taking it up the court, trying to lead this team to a comeback here. Now at the top is Prey. Prey at the logo. Kicks it over to Sannon. Sannon's 3 won't go. Over to Chase Ross. Chase Ross going to take it up the court and slow it down. He's over in the corner. Could have had maybe a layup there, but chose to slow down the pace of the game. Nigel James driving into the paint. Reverse layup. That one will fall. Nigel James Jr. has been an animal tonight. That's his 15th point of the game. Leading this team so far. Norman all over Prey. Prey at the top. Chase Ross knocks it away. Prey is going to recover it. At the top is Hopkins. Hopkins now going to pump fake a 3. Get it into the paint for Prey. Fouled on the ground.
No basket.
There will be no basket, no shooting.
Chase Ross.
Chase Ross with the foul there on Prey. Very smart foul to not allow those 2 points there. It'll be a pass-in play for Mitchell now.
Checking in for the Golden Eagles.
The Red Storm has kind of fallen apart here at the end of this half. Or at the start of this half. Has really fallen apart. It's been outscored by 13 points in the first 8 minutes. Not what you usually see out of St. John's. As there's a 3 put up immediately, and that one won't go. Rebounded by Praham. Praham up to Norman. St. John's is unable to hit a shot right now. Here's Norman now driving into the paint. Norman falls, no travel, kicks over to Nigel James in an unbelievable under a defender's arm reverse jelly layup. That is one of the best shots I've ever seen, and that is a St. John's timeout. And the crowd is going wild. An unbelievable play by Nigel James. What a move, what a layup. 56-50 is your score. We'll be right back after the timeout. It really seems right now like the St. John's Red Storm has been unable to catch their feet this half. Marquette looking for their 3rd stop in a row. This Red Storm team has been outscored by 15 points to start the second half. Driving in is Hopkins. Hopkins going to go for a layup. That one won't go. Tip back up by Hopkins again, and it will fall. A nice tip in by Hopkins. Nigel James bringing it up now. Marquette leads by 4. Became dead quiet in the stadium as that ball is tipped away by Mitchell. Mitchell taking it up the court now. The ball is kicked off of Hamilton. Kicking violation. It'll be St. John's ball. this St. John's team has come off really flat to start off this half and has just had a really rough go at it. It hasn't been able to hit a lot of shots. As Hopkins going to go for a dunk, and he's fouled on the dunk. Fouled pretty hard there by Hamilton. It'll be 2 shots.
Hamilton, third personal.
If he hits them both, it'll bring them within 2.
At the line, shooting 2 for St. John's, 23 Bryce.
The student section is as loud as it's ever been. Looking to make a huge upset and shock the NCAA. The first shot will go. Hopkins. Hopkins himself has not missed a free throw so far. St. John's has had a pretty rough go at them, though, shooting only 58%. Here comes Hopkins' second shot. That one will go. 56-54. Marquette lead the Red Storm. Nigel James absolutely jukes out a man. It's a 5-on-4 to start this. Chase Ross now driving into the paint. Back out to Nigel James. Nigel James trying to make a nice spin move in the paint. Gets caught by a man. Back out to Chase Ross. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Nigel James taking his time. Chase Ross now on the left side of the key. Out to Owens, who makes a nice move into the paint. Gets stripped by Hopkins. As Marquette is slowly starting to lose a little bit of their momentum. Hopkins driving into the paint. Going to try to get a layup up. Won't go. Back out to Mitchell. Mitchell now into the corner for Hopkins. Hopkins having a real nice game. And Heafor gets stripped. And it's Marquette basketball. Off of Jackson. I believe it hit right off his leg right at the end of that play as it went out of bounds. You know, Marquette really needs to keep these points scoring. It's been 2 in a row, two possessions in a row without points. Not what you want when you're having that momentum. You want to keep the crowd in this game. You want to keep the team in this game. You want to keep expanding that lead. Chase Ross going to inbound it here to Nigel James. Nigel James with 17 points on the night, having an unreal night against the 17th ranked St. John's Red Storm. Nigel James over on the left side of the key. Nigel James driving into the paint. It's swatted away, though, by Hopkins. Hopkins with a real nice athletic block. And a layup by Ian Jackson. Tie ball game now. Chase Ross from 3. Won't go. Rebounded by Mitchell. It seems like Marquette is really just trying to rush. Hopkins now wide open for 3. Will fall. And Marquette has slowly lost a little bit of their momentum as they're now trailing by 3. It'll be a Marquette timeout. We'll be right back after the timeout. The Red Storm has slowly taken the breath out of Marquette. Marquette trailing by just 3 with 9 minutes, 47 seconds remaining. Can Marquette have a nice end to this game to shock the world? Nigel James now with a nice crossover. Over inside the paint. Takes it back out to the top of the key. Nigel James now driving onto the right. Kicks it out. Stevens absolutely jukes out a man. Nigel James from 3. Will fall! Tie ball game. That's Nigel James' 20th point of the game. On a nice pass from Adrian Stevens. Saw that, had a very nice read. Realized that he wasn't going to be able to get a shot and kicked it over to Nigel James. Now there's Hopkins at the top of the key. Ben Gold all over and Heafor. And Heafor driving into the paint. Very aggressive. Reverse layup won't go. Rebounded by Mitchell. Mitchell passes it out to the corner. Seller won't make his shot, but it will be put back by Hopkins. Sellers overshot his 3 directly into the hands of Hopkins. Nigel James now on the right side. Marquette trails by 2. 8 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Adrian Stevens now at the left side of the key. Gonna push it into Chase Ross driving into the paint. Chase gonna look for a mid-range fadeaway. It gets blocked. Very contested shot. Not sure what was going on there. Hopkins now at the top of the key. The Red Storm has done a very nice job at slowing this team down. At the top of the key is Sellers. Over to Heafor now. into the paint. Hopkins now. Braham fouls him on the shot. It'll be an and one. Hopkins now. That's his 18th point of the game. Having a real nice game himself.
For St. John's 0, Dylan Darling, number 3.
Excuse me, that's his 20th point of the game. 20 points, 8 rebounds tonight for Hopkins. A real nice game. Marquette has had a real tough job trying to stop him in the paint. The defense on the inside has not been very good for Marquette. Perimeter defense has been fantastic, however. Hopkins' one and only shot here to make it a 3-point play. Will go. 64-59 is your score. 8 minutes remain. Marquette with just 2 timeouts remaining. Chase Ross into Nigel James. Nigel James now taking it real slow at the logo on the right side. Gonna take a step back here. Over to Stevens. Stevens now looks for a man in the paint, can't find one. Drives in himself. Nigel James out to the top. Nigel James now driving into the paint. He'll do it himself. A mid-range, that will fall. And Nigel James has been doing it all himself this half. Nigel James has been great on defense, real aggressive, getting a lot of deflections. He's got the most deflections on this Marquette team for this season. Up at the top, it's Enhefor. Enhefor is going to push it over to Hopkins now. Marquette trails by 3. Hopkins going to look to make a 3. Just a pump fake, kicks it over to Darling. Darling now driving into the paint. Out to Hopkins in the corner. Hopkins at the buzzer. It won't go. Rebound, Marquette. Nigel James driving it up the court. Over to Stevens. He's going to slow it down. Nigel James pump fakes his 3. Ben Gold at the top of the key for 3. That one won't go. It was tipped. Mitchell now into the paint. And Sandin at the top of the key will hit a 3. Got to make it a 6-point game. 6 minutes, 30 seconds remain. St. John's is slowly starting to take back full control of this game. Marquette is going to have to make a stand right now. Nigel James over to Chase Ross. Chase driving into the paint, backing into his man. Got to be a foul on Dylan Darling. It'll be a TV timeout. Marquette is going to need to make some moves here at the end of the game to win this one. We'll be right back after the break. This crowd is absolutely electric right now. Marquette looking to make a 6-point comeback with just 6 minutes remaining against the 17th team in the nation. Nigel James going to kick it into Ben Gold. Ben Gold now over to Chase Ross. This Marquette team has fallen a little flat since their real hot start to the second half. Out to Ben Gold. Ben Gold now on the right side. Kicks over to Chase Ross. Chase Ross and a contested 3. That one will not go. Way off. And it's a big foul on Chase Ross. And he's down. Jackson absolutely ran into him. It was not intentional, though. They are both looking opposite directions and just slammed into each other. Chase Ross is down on the ground. That will be a foul on Ian Jackson. We hope that Chase Ross is okay. He's now standing up on his own. And it appears he will remain in the game. Well, after a big collision like that, seeing 2 guys stay in the game is a very, very good sign. Never want to see star players like Chase Ross get hurt. 5 minutes, 57 seconds remaining. Score is 67-61. Nigel James now driving in. Gonna go up for a layup. And it appears to be fouled. There was no call. It's been a very aggressive game. The refs have not stepped in. Another offensive foul not called. Hopkins with a shot. That one won't go. Hopkins gets his own rebound, drives into the paint. Kicks it out. Up at the top is Sandin. Sandin tries to get it in. That'll be Marquette basketball as it's tipped away. Out of bounds.
Checking into the red start for Zion Sellers.
A real underrated player tonight is Josiah Sellers.
In for the Golden Eagles.
Haven't really talked about him much. He's got 12 points and 4 assists, 1 rebound. This has been a real nice night for him as well, hitting some very clutch threes for the Red Storm. Marquette trails by 6. 5 minutes remaining. Praham kicks it out to Nigel James. Nigel James now. Back over to Praham. Praham right at the top of the key. Gonna hand it off to Chase Ross. Chase Ross looks a little wild right now. Really aggressive, driving into the paint. Out to Praham. Praham for 3. Won't go. Praham had a wide open look there. Just missed it. Chase Ross with a real nice read. Chase Ross might be aggressive to a fault right now. Hopkins had a wide open 3, didn't take it. Sannon now for 3. That one won't fall. And Heathor gets the rebound. Ben Golden and Heathor have been battling in the paint all night. And Heathor puts one up over Ben Gold. That one won't go. Ben Gold with the rebound. Marquette really needs to capitalize with some points here and get some momentum back. Nigel James over in the right corner. Ball over to Owens. Owens over to Praham. Praham into the paint. Goes up for a layup. It won't go. And rebounded by Hopkins. Marquette hasn't had a possession with points in the last 4. It's been a rough start. Marquette in the kill zone. Ben Gold fouls and Heathor on the shot, and Heathor barely missed it as it rolled out. Would have been a very, very bad look for Marquette. 61-67. It'll be 2 shots for Heathor.
At the line shooting 2 for St. John's, 24 to the inch of 4.
Hopkins has been absolutely dominating the paint. 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. A fantastic stat line for the young man. And Heathor with his first shot. That one won't go. Way short on that one. The crowd is still into it here as Marquette trails by 6, with just 4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. The crowd is loud as it's been all night, and Heathor will hit his second shot. Marquette trails by 8. Nigel James driving up to the top. Kicks it out to the corner. It's Owens. Back out to the top. It's Chase Ross driving into the paint. To Ben Gold in the corner. Back out to Nigel James. Drives it in the paint. Chase Ross in the other corner. Chase Ross drives it for a layup. Fouled on the shot. He'll be shooting 2. There'll be a TV timeout. Marquette really needs to capitalize on these 2 free throws and get some defensive stops. And they need some points now. They don't have a lot of time left. Just 3 minutes, 54 seconds, trailing by 7. Will they see? Will they be able to make this comeback? We'll be right back after the break. Coming back into the Fiserv Forum, Chase Ross will be shooting 2. Marquette trails by 7 with just 4 minutes remaining. Chase Ross's first free throw will fall. 68-62. Marquette looking to make a legendary comeback here. Chase Ross's second shot will fall. Down by 5. 4 minutes remaining. Taking it up is Sannon. The crowd is loud. Sannon kicking it over to Hopkins. Over to Heathor. And Heathor kicks it out to Sannon again. And Heathor now into the paint. Drives around Ben Gold. Drives in a layup. Nigel James now taking it up the court.
Official timeout.
Official timeout. It looks like someone got hit in the face with an elbow. Owens appears to have something hurt on his face. Walking towards Coach Shaka Smart. Marquette slowly running out of time to make a comeback here. Owens will be taken out of the game and is going to the locker room. That will be a big loss for them. Owens has put himself Owens has put himself a pretty nice night tonight. That will be a pretty big loss in the last couple of minutes of this game. Hopefully he's able to return within the next couple of games. Chase Ross into Nigel James. Just 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Marquette needs to start right now. Nigel James driving into the paint. Out to Praham. Praham pump fakes a three. Gets a man to jump. Back out to Nigel James. Nigel James tries to pass it into Ben Golden. It's stripped away by Mitchell. Mitchell taking it up the court nice and slow. Sannon now at the top of the key. Over to Enhefor. Enhefor back over to Sannon in the paint. And almost an and one. Fouled on the shot. Rolled in and out. Sannon will be shooting two.
Team foul.
Marquette has not scored in the last 4 possessions. It's been real rough. There have been some flashes of very good offense, but it has not been very good so far at the end of this half. The first free throw for Sannon will be good. Sannon now with the second free throw. That one won't go. Rebounded by Ross. Marquette trails by 8. 3 minutes remaining. Really need to get something going here if they want any shot of winning this game. Praham now at the top of the key. Crowd has been blown silent. Here's the wind has just been knocked out of the fans. Stevens now driving in, kicks it out to Nigel James. Nigel James tries to put up a layup. Won't go. Rebounded by Dylan Darling. Dylan Darling now taking it up at the logo. Just 2 minutes remaining. And it slowly looks like the Marquette Golden Eagles are letting this one slip from their hands. Out is Sannon. Sannon from 3. That one won't go. Ben Gold tried to rebound it, tipped it away. Chase Ross somehow ends up with it. It was knocked by 4 different players, and Chase Ross just grabbed it out of the air. Now in the paint. Out to Stevens. Just the 2 minutes remaining in the game. Nigel James tries to put one up, absolutely misses, and gets hit pretty hard on the ground. Ben Gold for 3. It won't go. Down by 8. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. And it appears that the team is just slowly letting this game get further and further away from them. A valiant effort against the number 17 team in the nation, though, as Hopkins drives into the paint. Just misses a layup in and out. If they want a chance to win this one, they need to go now. They need to start hitting some threes. Down by 8, minute left, minute 14. Nigel James now at the right side of the key. Out to Chase Ross. Over to Adrian Stevens. Stevens for 3. Will fall. Now down by 5. That'll be a Marquette timeout. 71-66. 1 minute, 1 second remaining. Can Marquette make a miraculous comeback in this last minute, or will they fall short of a legendary victory? We'll see right after the break. The Golden Eagles have a spark of hope now. Just 1 minute remaining. Down by 5. Ball's passed into Hopkins. Back out to Dylan Darling. Dylan Darling going to find Hopkins on the corner into their own territory. 50 seconds remain. Marquette going to need to get the ball away. Ball stripped away by Stevens. Stevens over to Norman. Norman! Oh, just barely going to miss the and one. Rolled in and out. He's going to get 2 free throws. Fouled on the shot. And one would have been a huge, huge play. Norman is going to need to hit both of these free throws. Marquette's been iffy with the free throws tonight, just shooting 76%. Norman is really going to need to hit both of these shots if they want a chance. 44 seconds remain, down 5.
Checking in for the Red Storm.
Can Norman make the comeback? Leotopoulos subbing into the game.
Two free throws for the Golden Eagles.
Norman needs to hit both of these if they want a chance. Here comes the first shot. Norman's first shot won't go. Bounces off the rim 3 times and will not fall. That is a crucial miss. Norman's second one will fall. Down 4. 71-67 is the score. 44 seconds remaining. Marquette needs to just get it off, and it's a wide open dunk for Dingler. And for Leotopoulos, and he is fouled hard on the way up for that shot.
Marquette foul number 2, Chase Ross.
Chase Ross fouls. He'll be shooting 2.
Team foul. At the line, shooting 2 for St. John's, 31 to first. Leotopoulos.
Down 4 with 38 seconds remaining. Leotopoulos will be shooting 2. First one will roll. Will go in.
Nigel James Jr., 13, Royce Marquette.
Trailing by 5. It is not looking good for the Golden Eagles at this point. Leotopoulos. Looks like there's a spill in the court. Will be cleaned up. Leotopoulos now shooting his second shot. Up by 5, could put it where they need 2 threes to win this game. Leotopoulos misses the second one. 37 seconds remain. Marquette trails by 5. Gonna need to get some shots up quick. Braham pump fakes, back out to Nigel. Nigel driving into the paint. That one will go. It's an and one for Nigel James. Fouled on the shot. That is exactly what they needed to get this game within reach. 27 seconds remain. Marquette trails by 3. Can Nigel James overcome the free throw problems he's had in this game and convert the 3-point play? Nigel James's free throw. Biggest moment of the game. That one will go. Marquette trails by 2. 27 seconds remain. Red Storm ball. The crowd is on their feet and loud here in the Pfizer Forum. The loudest it's been all night. Ball's passed into Sandin. Sandin now gets it over to Hopkins. Hopkins into the middle. And Hefor is fouled. And Hefor will be shooting from the bonus. If he hits both, it will not be looking good for the Marquette Golden Eagles. If he misses one, there's a big chance that Marquette can tie this game to set it to overtime. Or if he misses both, Marquette can win this game with a 3. And Hefor shooting his first. The crowd is loud. This one will go.
Into St. John's, number 1, Dylan Mitchell.
If he makes his free throw, it will all but seal the game. And Hefor with the biggest shot of the night. Crowd is on their feet. 73-70. 21 seconds remain. His second free throw will fall. Marquette is going to need a miracle to win this one. St. John's with the timeout. We'll be right back after the timeout break. Coming back into this intense contest at the Pfizer Forum. St. John's leads the Marquette Golden Eagles 74-70 with 21 seconds remaining. If Marquette wants a chance in this game, they're going to have to get a quick 3 up and foul. This is going to be, this would be a miraculous comeback here. Ball is passed to Ben Gold. Chase Ross taking up the court real quick. Chase Ross driving into the paint. Gets a layup. It won't go. And rebounded by Hopkins, and Hopkins is fouled. And that has all but sealed this game.
Marquette foul number 12, Ben Gold, 3rd personal.
A very unfortunate series of events has pretty much ended the game and the hope for the Marquette Golden Eagles. 74-70, 12 seconds remain.
Bryce Hopkins at the line for St. John's.
Fans are exiting the stadium. They have lost hope for this team. Hopkins now with his first free throw. First one will go. Marquette trails by 5. And Hopkins with the second free throw. That one will fall. Marquette trails by 6 with just 12 seconds remaining. This game is all but over. A valiant effort by the Marquette Golden Eagles to come here and play the number 17 team in the nation and give them a game. Only lost by 6 as Nigel James will miss a 3, and that will seal the game. Brutal loss for the Marquette Golden Eagles, but a valiant effort. We will see you at the next game. Have a good night.